Let me ask you this. What if I told you that your life could transform entirely in just 1 week? Seems impossible, right? Well, I thought so too. But then I stumbled upon habits rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy, and they completely changed my perspective and my life. This is not about a magic formula or an overnight miracle. It is about the incredible impact of small, deliberate actions. These habits are simple yet profound. They will challenge you, inspire you, and if you commit to them, they can reshape the way you see the world and yourself. In this series, we are diving deep into these life-changing habits. We will explore the lessons of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has guided some of history's greatest minds. Along the way, I will share my own journey, the struggles I faced, and the powerful insights I gained. By the end of this series, you will have the tools to change your life, no matter where you are starting from. So, stick with me, because the next part will uncover habit number 1, the cornerstone of it all. And hey, if you are ready to take control of your life, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You will not want to miss what is coming next. Let's do this together. Habit number 1, the art of negative visualization. The first habit that changed everything for me was practicing negative visualization. Now, I know what you were thinking. Why focus on the negative? But hear me out. This Stoic practice is not about dwelling on bad things. It is about mentally preparing for life's challenges and, surprisingly, finding gratitude in the process. Here is how it works. Every morning, take a few moments to imagine something you deeply value being taken away. Picture it vividly. The loss of a relationship, a possession, or even an opportunity. It sounds harsh, but this exercise has a powerful effect. When I started doing this, it completely shifted my mindset. Instead of taking things for granted, I began to cherish what I had. The things I used to complain about, like a busy schedule or a tough conversation, started to feel like blessings. It taught me to appreciate life, not in an abstract sense, but in a deeply personal and immediate way. This practice also made me more resilient. By visualizing the worst, I felt less afraid of challenges. I stopped fearing what might go wrong and instead focused on what I could control. Incorporating this habit into your daily routine is simple. Spend just 5 minutes imagining and reflecting on the things you value most, as if they were gone. Then, let that sense of gratitude fuel your day. Habit number 2, the daily practice of journaling. The second habit that reshaped my life was journaling, a timeless Stoic exercise that is so simple, yet so transformative. At first, it felt odd to sit with a notebook and write down my thoughts. But once I committed to it, the benefits became undeniable. Here is why journaling is so powerful. It clears your mind, sharpens your focus, and helps you see your thoughts from a new perspective. When I started this practice, I would write every morning and evening. In the morning, I set my intentions for the day, what I wanted to achieve, how I wanted to carry myself, and what challenges I might face. At night, I reflected on what went well, what did not, and what I could improve. Journaling helped me uncover patterns in my behavior that I had not noticed before. I realized how much time I spent worrying about things I could not change. It also gave me a space to express gratitude for small victories, which I had previously overlooked. You do not need to be a skilled writer to journal effectively. Just grab a notebook or even a digital note app and let your thoughts flow. Focus on clarity, not perfection. Ask yourself, what went well today? What challenged me? What am I grateful for? This habit is not about filling pages. It is about creating mental space and reconnecting with yourself. Through journaling, I found clarity and a deeper sense of purpose that carried over into every aspect of my life. Habit number 3, practicing voluntary discomfort. The third habit that transformed my mindset was practicing voluntary discomfort. This Stoic exercise might sound counterintuitive, but it is a powerful way to build resilience and gratitude. Here is what it involves: deliberately stepping out of your comfort zone in small, manageable ways. For example, I started taking cold showers, skipping a meal once a week, and walking instead of driving whenever I could. These were not massive sacrifices, but they were enough to remind me that I could endure discomfort and thrive despite it. Why is this important? Because life is unpredictable and hardships are inevitable. By exposing yourself to controlled discomfort, you build mental and physical toughness. You learn to stop fearing challenges and start embracing them as opportunities for growth. When I began this habit, something unexpected happened. I gained a deeper appreciation for the things I often took for granted. A warm shower felt like a luxury. A simple meal tasted extraordinary. By experiencing life without those comforts, even temporarily, I learned to value them more. This practice is not about punishing yourself. It is about training your mind to adapt and stay strong, no matter the circumstances. Pick one area of your life where you can introduce a small challenge. Whether it is waking up earlier, skipping that extra snack, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator. It is uncomfortable at first, but over time, you will notice a profound shift in how you approach life's difficulties. You will realize that you are capable of so much more than you thought. Habit number 4, the power of momentary pause. The fourth habit that reshaped my perspective was learning to pause. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but do not underestimate its impact. In a world where everything demands instant reactions, texts, emails, decisions, taking a moment to pause feels revolutionary. Here is how it works. Before reacting to anything, whether it is an emotional trigger or a challenging situation, you stop. Take a deep breath. Count to 3. Reflect. Then, respond thoughtfully. This habit is rooted in the Stoic principle of controlling your response to external events. The philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When I embraced this idea, I began to notice just how often my reactions were automatic and unproductive. One day, for example, I received a frustrating email at work. Normally, I would fire off a quick, defensive reply. But instead, I paused. I took a moment to breathe, reread the message, and consider my response. When I finally replied, my tone was calm and solution-focused, and the situation resolved smoothly. This simple practice has helped me avoid unnecessary conflicts, make better decisions, and feel more in control of my emotions. Whether it is in an argument, during a stressful moment, or even when someone cuts you off in traffic, the pause creates space for wisdom to emerge. The beauty of this habit is that it requires no tools or special training, just awareness and intention. Start small. When something triggers you, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what is the most constructive response I can give right now? Over time, this habit will not just improve your relationships. It will give you a sense of calm and control you never knew was possible. Habit number 5, focusing only on what you can control. The fifth habit that brought me peace and clarity was learning to focus solely on what I could control. This principle lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy and is quite frankly life-changing. Too often, we waste energy worrying about things beyond our control. Other people's opinions, unpredictable events, or even the weather. I was no different, constantly stressing over things I had no power to change. But when I adopted this habit, everything shifted. Here is the essence of it. Divide your concerns into 2 categories, what you can control and what you cannot. Then let go of the latter entirely. For instance, I stopped worrying about how others perceive me. Instead, I focused on showing up as my best self, which was within my control. This habit is not about apathy or avoidance. It is about clarity. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you free up energy for the things that truly matter. Your actions, your mindset, and your decisions. I remember a situation where I was stuck in traffic and running late for an important meeting. My old self would have been consumed with frustration and anxiety. But instead, I reminded myself, I cannot control the traffic, but I can control how I react. So, I used that time to rehearse my key points for the meeting and arrive calm and prepared. Practicing this habit does not eliminate challenges, but it changes how you face them. Every time you feel stress or frustration creeping in, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, let it go. The freedom and peace that come with this habit are indescribable. Life becomes less of a battle and more of an opportunity to focus on what truly matters. Habit number 6, practicing memento mori, remembering your mortality. One of the most profound habits I adopted was reflecting on mortality, a practice known in Stoicism as memento mori. At first, this idea might seem morbid. Why dwell on death? But in reality, this habit brought a sense of urgency, clarity, and gratitude to my life like nothing else. The Stoics believe that keeping the reality of death in mind helps us live fully and authentically. When I started this practice, I would take a moment each day to remind myself that life is finite. I asked myself, if today were my last day, would I be satisfied with how I spent it? This simple reflection changed the way I approach my time. I stopped procrastinating on things that mattered, spending time with loved ones, pursuing meaningful work, and even taking care of my health. It also helped me let go of trivial worries and focus on what truly counts. Far from being depressing, memento mori is a wake-up call. It reminds us to appreciate every moment and treat life as the precious, fleeting gift it is. Whether it is through journaling, meditation, or simply pausing to reflect, integrating this habit into your life will deepen your perspective and motivate you to live with intention. Habit number 7, seeking solitude daily. The next habit that transformed my life was carving out time for daily solitude. In our fast-paced, constantly connected world, solitude often feels like a luxury, but it is actually a necessity. For me, this habit meant spending 10 to 15 minutes alone each day without distractions. No phone, no music, no conversations. Sometimes I would sit quietly in a park, and other times I would just breathe deeply at home. Solitude gave me the space to reconnect with myself, process my thoughts, and recharge emotionally. It helped me listen to my inner voice and clarify my priorities, free from external noise and pressure. This habit also allowed me to approach my day with a calmer, more focused mindset. Instead of reacting to life's demands, I began to act with greater intention. Solitude gave me the mental clarity to decide how I wanted to show up in the world, which improved everything from my relationships to my productivity. You do not need hours of solitude to reap the benefits. Start small. Find a quiet corner. Turn off your devices and simply be. In that stillness, you will discover a wellspring of insight and peace that is always within you. Habit number 8, practicing gratitude daily. The 8th habit that profoundly shifted my outlook on life was cultivating a daily gratitude practice. This one seems simple, almost cliche, but its power lies in its consistency and sincerity. Gratitude is not just a fleeting feeling. It is a mindset that reshapes how you see the world. Each day, I began listing 3 things I was grateful for. It could be as significant as a loving family or as simple as a warm cup of coffee in the morning. At first, it felt repetitive, but over time, this habit opened my eyes to how much I was taking for granted. By focusing on the positives, even during tough times, I realized how much abundance surrounded me. Gratitude also shifted my attention away from what I lacked and toward what I already had. It changed my inner dialogue from, "Why is this happening to me?" to, "What can I appreciate about this moment?" This habit grounded me in the present. Instead of waiting for some future achievement to feel content, I learned to find joy in the now. Gratitude also strengthened my relationships because I started expressing appreciation to others more often, deepening those connections. To make this a daily habit, try writing in a gratitude journal or simply reflecting for a few minutes each night. The key is to be specific and genuine. What are you thankful for today, and why? This small practice can bring profound joy and peace into your life. Habit number 9, embracing silence in conversations. The 9th habit that transformed my interactions and relationships was learning to embrace silence during conversations. This is a subtle but deeply impactful practice that comes straight from Stoic wisdom. Listen more and speak less. I used to feel the need to fill every gap in a conversation, either by talking or giving advice. But once I started practicing intentional silence, I realized how powerful it is. Instead of rushing to respond, I began pausing and truly listening to others. This small change did wonders for my communication skills. Silence allows space for deeper understanding. It gives the other person time to express themselves fully, and it allows you to process their words without jumping to conclusions or forming a response prematurely. This habit also helps you avoid unnecessary arguments because you are focusing on understanding rather than reacting. One of the most surprising benefits was how much people began to open up to me. By simply holding space and staying present in the conversation, I became a better listener and a more empathetic friend. This practice is not just about saying less. It is about being fully present. Next time you are in a conversation, resist the urge to interrupt or offer immediate advice. Embrace the pause, listen deeply, and respond thoughtfully. You will be amazed at how much this enhances your relationships and your ability to connect with others. Habit number 10, taking action over perfection. The 10th habit that radically shifted my approach to life was prioritizing action over perfection. For the longest time, I was stuck in a cycle of overthinking and procrastination, convinced that everything I did had to be flawless. But the Stoics teach us to focus on what we can do right now, even if it is imperfect. When I embraced this mindset, it felt liberating. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment to start a project or make a decision, I began taking small, consistent steps forward. Whether it was starting a new workout routine, tackling a long-delayed task, or initiating a difficult conversation, I focused on progress, not perfection. This habit taught me that most of the time, perfection is an illusion. It is the action, the doing, that creates momentum and leads to growth. I learned to ask myself, what is one thing I can do today to move closer to my goal? And then I did it, even if it was not perfect. Taking action not only builds confidence, but also reduces anxiety. The more I acted, the less I worried about what ifs. Each small step added up, and I realized that progress, no matter how slow, is infinitely better than standing still. If you struggle with perfectionism or procrastination, try this. Break your task into the smallest possible step and do that. Do not aim for flawless. Aim for done. You will be surprised at how much this simple habit can transform your mindset and your results. Habit number 11, practicing detachment from outcomes. The 11th habit that brought me peace and focus was practicing detachment from outcomes. This idea comes straight from Stoic philosophy, where the emphasis is on doing your best and letting go of the results. For years, I was overly attached to the outcomes of my efforts, whether it was achieving a goal, impressing someone, or succeeding in a project. The problem? When things did not go as planned, I felt defeated and frustrated. But the Stoics teach us that we only have control over our actions, not the results. I began shifting my focus to the process itself. If I prepared well, gave my best effort, and stayed true to my values, I considered it a success, regardless of the external outcome. This habit helped me stay calm under pressure and resilient in the face of failure. One example was a big presentation I worked on. Instead of obsessing over whether it would impress the audience, I concentrated on preparing thoroughly and delivering it with confidence. The result? I felt more at ease, and ironically, the presentation went better because I was not weighed down by the fear of failure. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means caring deeply about your effort, but releasing your need to control what happens next. This perspective frees you from unnecessary stress and allows you to focus on what truly matters, doing the best you can in the moment. Start practicing this by reminding yourself, I control my actions, not the outcomes. It is a habit that will help you navigate life with grace and resilience. Habit number 12, turning challenges into opportunities. The 12th habit that completely transformed my perspective was seeing every challenge as an opportunity. This is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, the idea that obstacles are not just roadblocks, they are stepping stones. I used to view challenges as problems to avoid. Whether it was a difficult task at work, a personal conflict, or even unexpected setbacks, my instinct was to feel frustrated or overwhelmed. But when I started reframing these moments as opportunities to grow, everything changed. Here is an example. I once faced a project deadline that seemed impossible to meet. Instead of panicking, I asked myself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I improve because of it? This shift in mindset helped me focus on solutions rather than stress, and I ended up discovering new ways to manage my time and collaborate with others. Challenges test us, but they also shape us. By viewing obstacles as opportunities, you stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as an active participant in your own growth. Whenever you encounter something difficult, pause and ask, what is this teaching me? How can I use this to become better? This habit will not only make you more resilient, but will also turn life's struggles into a constant source of strength and wisdom. With this mindset, even life's toughest moments can become powerful catalysts for change. Habit number 13, practicing mindful presence. The 13th habit that brought incredible clarity and peace into my life was practicing mindful presence. It sounds simple, but in a world full of distractions, being fully present in the moment is one of the hardest and most rewarding things you can do. For years, I was constantly multitasking, checking my phone while eating, thinking about work during conversations, or worrying about the future when I should have been enjoying the present. The result? I felt scattered and disconnected. When I embraced mindfulness, everything shifted. Whether I was eating a meal, talking to a friend, or even walking outside, I made an effort to be fully engaged. I focused on the sights, sounds, and sensations around me. I paid attention to my breathing and the rhythm of my thoughts. This habit taught me to slow down and truly experience life as it unfolds. Meals became more satisfying, conversations more meaningful, and even mundane tasks like washing dishes felt purposeful. Being present helped me appreciate the beauty in small, everyday moments I used to overlook. Mindful presence also helped me manage stress. By anchoring myself in the here and now, I stopped worrying so much about things that had not happened yet or reliving past mistakes. It gave me a sense of calm and control that carried through my day. Start by setting aside a few moments each day to practice mindfulness. You can try meditation, focus on one task at a time, or simply pause and take 3 deep breaths. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel, and the richer your experience of life will become. Transform your life and take the first step. These 13 habits, rooted in Stoic philosophy, have the power to transform your life, just as they did mine. They are not magic tricks or quick fixes. They are tools for building resilience, clarity, and peace in an unpredictable world. From negative visualization to embracing challenges, from letting go of outcomes to practicing mindful presence, these habits remind us that the most profound changes often come from the simplest shifts in perspective. But here's the thing, none of this matters unless you take action. Knowledge without action is like having a map, but never starting the journey. So, pick one habit, just one, and start practicing it today. As you integrate these habits into your life, you will begin to see the world differently. You will feel more in control, more grateful, and more connected to the present moment. And the best part? These changes will ripple out into every area of your life, affecting not just you, but the people around you. If you found these lessons helpful, I would love for you to join this journey with me. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. Tell me which habit you're going to start with or share your thoughts on Stoicism. Let us build this community of growth and positivity together. Remember, transformation begins with a single step. Take that step today and watch how your life changes in ways you never imagined. See you in the next video.